out there, YouTube? This is SEL0320 representing JVS. I'm back here again for a spoiler-filled review for the Vampire Diaries season finale, episode 22, 7th season. This is a interestingly amazing episode for a lot of different reasons, but this is something you definitely gonna have to check out. CWTV.com as soon as you can. Take this episode, take this review, put it in your watch later, come back to it. I'm about to go into a lot of spoilers, so I forewarned you. I've actually already recorded this already. I don't know how the data got corrupted. I was a lot more passionate in that one, kind of like upset with this, but I'll do the best I can to redo this review. Alright, the episode to me, I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed a lot of different things about it, but the biggest thing that kind of came to me in this episode was the fact was that before this happened, the events at the end, I had said to all of y'all, they can't allow this entity to come into Damon at all, because he, to me, solidified the best parts of an antagonist, like the darkness, the brutalness. To me, if it wasn't the best of the bad, which is Klaus Michelson, it would be Damon. And then for it to be Enzo and Damon, I was like, oh my gosh. But I'm going too far ahead of myself, because the beginning episode, having everything that happened with Bonnie, and she's trying to fight the urges to kill the ones that she loved and warning them at the same time, is such an emotional appeal. That Kat Graham, she's such a great actress in a lot of different respects. Even with like her having Matt tied up, trying to get him, to help her through it, but at the same time fighting him. And it is an emotional ride, because freaking Stefan and Caroline, they almost got killed in the middle of like this car chase sequence, which was actually produced pretty well. But then as progression goes, like Enzo decides upon himself to try to protect Bonnie. And the thing about this episode is that I didn't expect myself to come out of this episode almost more of a Enzo and Bonnie shipper than Damon shipper, because that moment where Bonnie almost killed Enzo, dude, it messed me up emotionally. I was like, that can't happen. Like, I was like, this is the saddest thing that could happen to her. Because I mean, one thing, to lose Jeremy or to lose somebody else or lose a parent, but another thing to actually be the one to kill, And the thing about it is, like, she didn't, and Damon saved the day, but it was like, I still kept on going in my head, what was in that letter? I think that Judy Platt intentionally left that open, but at the same time, she wants to keep it Elena and Damon centered all the time. I get annoyed by that, because Bonnie has a full life to actually live. But anyway, I thought it would be interesting to see what's going to end up happening if that letter comes back up. Maybe that would be the reason to get them out of it, or at least Damon. The other thing is the very end, like, for the way they produced it, and I have to go back, because there was a moment that Damon, to me, I thought was really selfish and juvenile, and the way that he was talking with Stefan about he should do it this way or do it that way, and Stefan really giving concrete reasons why he was doing what he was doing, why he didn't want to be Damon. But then for Damon to go back, before he gets into the actual vault, into the army, and to really emotionally push what his real persona is. And it, to me, solidified Damon forever, because it showed dimensions of his character that I could only left to assumption, but he actually really said it. He was like, you're going to have to let me go. You're going to have to let me do the right thing or the bad thing. Like, you're going to have to do this or do that. And I was like, this is love. Like, these brothers love each other. But just like their own personal hells, where Damon ended up becoming this monster and Stefan had to leave his brother, this came to fruition. And for them to be able to establish that, and the very thing that pulled Damon back in, after he was on the phone with Bonnie and Enzo, I knew that was it. Because he heard Elena's voice. And the thing is, isn't that Nina Dubree's voice? Did y'all know? I mean, to me, there's no way they could just take that from different moments in the episode. I've listened and watched each episode. Those specific notes and talks, that is not from another episode. I think that was Nina's actually voice acting. And I thought that was awesome to add that in there, because there was so much more emotionally jarring to actually have him do that. And then for Enzo to go in there, I was like, that was stupid. But I understand it when he started talking like you're the person that brought my girl back from the brink of not only killing me but herself emotionally. And you're her best friend, and you're my best friend technically. And I was like, oh my gosh. And when they got engulfed, the way that they panned out everything after they had locked in and had the song going on in the background and everybody just emotionally distraught and upset, writing to Elena about what's going on, I was just like, wow. And then to see what these two guys, like, they make up the perfect kind of antagonist just from their history and their darkness, and now to have this thing engulf them, like there's nothing's going to be stopping them. To me personally, I don't see both of them making it out of this alive regardless of the fact. I feel like it's either going to be Damon or it's going to be Enzo that's going to make it out of this alive. I just don't see how they could, personally. But I think that Bonnie can definitely be that one to get through to one or the two of them. It's just interesting symmetry because for Bonnie to be on one side and then the other one, I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see how this all pans out. But the other thing about this episode that I really liked was with Stefan, Caroline, and Alaric. I thought they handled all that very well because I was mad at Alaric. I didn't understand why you gonna be so selfish, and then he finally broke down to the dimensions of their relationship. She facilitated the babies coming through her. She was there for him. He developed like real true feelings and love for her because of the byproduct of the situation. And then she loved him because she wanted to maintain a family, and she was hurt. But yeah, at the same time, like he said to her, this isn't fair to you. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll always be a part of family because you brought these kids into this world, but you also have a life to live. And not just that, I mean, she's an immortal. Like she's gonna literally watch her children grow old. So it's gonna be interesting seeing that later on if they progress into 8th season and into a 9th season. But just like they did a great job with that, they did an awesome job with freaking Stefan and Caroline because they got real emotionally charged and renewed, and it was like that kiss was just as potent as their very first kiss that they actually had. And I really loved the way they did that. The other thing was with the way that they handled Enzo, Damon, the Armory, and everything. It was just, I love the way they handled it. The thing about it for me though, this wasn't the best season finale because I remember with Catherine freaking cutting off what's the name's fingers, and like Elena getting like ambushed, and even like Catherine kissing Damon. Like that was one of the best season finales. Even the one where Damon was down on his luck and actually gotten bit by a wolf, and it was only Klaus's blood that could save him. And so Stefan had to consume all his blood. I was like, that was so emotionally charged that was one of my favorite seasons. So I just don't put that at that caliber, but to watch and see all those bodies, they're not even been like drained by them, just being bled out. I was like, wow. Like they are going for it. This is dark. And I really do appreciate it. I thought this was a great episode. It's going to be interesting to see how things turn out. I don't know. Like I really don't know. I just can't see both of them making it out of this a lot. One of them is going to maintain this evilness, or one of them is going to be destroyed. That's just personally my personal opinion. But I thought this was a really grounded, good episode. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this spoiler-filled review. I gave the episode a 9.5 out of 10. And yeah, I don't know if I forgot anything from the first time I spoke about this, but I just gotta say it was an awesome episode. It was an awesome ride. Yeah, I don't got anything else. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. Y'all have a blessed night, blessed day, blessed evening. Peace.